Welcome back to Spring into Math 7. I'm Mrs. Campbell, and today we're going to be doing the first part in our lesson on finding the surface area of cylinders. Let's get started. Okay, so the surface area of a cylinder is the total area of each circular face and the side of a cylinder. So I want you to imagine a can of soup. The top, bottom, and label around the can would make up the surface area of the can. Now, this is important to write down. To find the surface area, we're going to calculate the area of each face and the side and then add these areas together like we did in our last lesson. It's a little bit trickier with cylinders. So the first way, we're going to talk about two ways in this lesson that we can find the surface area of a cylinder is to use a net. So using a net, we're going to imagine we can unroll the soup can so that it's completely flat. Okay, so you can see the top and the bottom, and then as if we were to unravel or unroll the label. Okay, we need to use the formula area equals pi r squared to find the area of a circle. You should remember that from some previous lessons. Now, the two circular faces are congruent, so they must have the same radius and diameter. Now, let's calculate the area of each face. All right, so let's take a look at our measurements here. We've got 4 centimeters and 4 centimeters for the radius of each circle, and then we have 8 centimeters there, which we'll deal with later. We're just focusing on the circles for now. So the bottom face and the top face, you'll notice the measurements are going to be the same because they're the same figure, right? So let's just focus on the bottom face. And we are going with the formula area equals pi r squared. We plug in pi times 4 squared, which is going to be, area is going to be 16 times pi, which is going to be 50.24 centimeters squared. Not so hard. Okay, so now we need to find the area of the side. Again, I've written this out in word form, and then you can also see it in a visual representation. Okay, so now we need to find the area of the side. If we unroll the cylinder, the side is actually what? A rectangle. And we know that the formula for finding the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. Now for cylinders, the width of the rectangle is the same as the height of the cylinder. So in this case, the height of the cylinder is 8 centimeters. The length is the same as the perimeter of the circle, which we call the circumference. Highlight that too. When we roll up the side, or imagine rolling up the label around the can, it fits exactly once around the circle at the top or the bottom. So to find the area of a cylinder's side then, we multiply the circumference of the circle by the height of the cylinder. I'm going to highlight that too. You might want to write that down. To find the area of the cylinder's side, we multiply the circumference of the circle by the height of the cylinder. So we find the circumference of a circle, remember, with the formula circumference equals 2 pi r, and then we multiply it by the height. All right. So again, circumference equals 2 pi r. The radius for the circle is going to be 4 centimeters. So 2 times 4 is 8. So now I have that the circumference is 25.12 once we multiply 8 times pi. And when we do that, we get times 4, we get circumference equals 25.12 times 8, which gives us 200.96 square centimeters. And again, what would be the circumference of the circle is the same thing as the length that I've highlighted there. Okay, so now we know the area of both circular faces and the side. So let's add them together to find the surface area of the cylinder. We know that the bottom face is 50.24 centimeters square, and the top is as well. And we know that the side is 200.96 square centimeters. We're going to add all of those together, and we get 301.44 centimeters squared. Okay, let's also talk about a second way to find surface areas of cylinders. We can do that by using formulas. Now remember, we can calculate the area of the two circular faces at once. They have the same, because they have the same radius. So we simply double the area formula, which gives us 2 pi r squared. And we can also combine the measurements for the side into a simpler equation. We need to find the circumference by using the formula 2 pi r, like we talked about, and then we multiply this by the height of the cylinder. So therefore, we can just write 2 pi r h. When we combine the formula for the faces and for the side, we get this formula. Surface area equals 2 pi r plus 2 pi r h. Join us next time when we look at some examples of how to use formulas. See you next time.